Hey guys, wow, it feels like a lifetime since I did my last commentary, and that's probably because it's not far off that. A few weeks in YouTube is a very long time. I won't go into too much detail as to why I haven't been doing videos lately, because I intend on having a bit of a chat about it in an upcoming video, so for now I'll just leave that there, and I'll talk about it properly in a video coming quite soon. On to more important things though, Naval Strike. The latest DLC was released for Battlefield Premium members just a few days ago on PC. It was delayed actually due to some problems, but either way it's now out, and so far I've had a lot of fun on it. I'm going to cover the Carrier Assault game mode in this video because it's something that I have really been looking forward to personally. It's a game mode which is based on Titan mode from 2142, and I love that so much. Now before I start blabbing on, I will say currently there are some issues with Naval Strike which DICE are aware of. There is some severe rubber banding that can occur, mainly on 64-man servers, which is why I tend to stick to 32-man currently. DICE are looking to upgrade server hardware in an effort to solve the problem, so at least they are on the case. It is multi-platform as well, it's not just PC, the problems have been happening on PlayStation 4 as well. Normally this would be the point where me and every other person would start having a go about how DICE have messed up, but it's an old record. There is a problem, they're working on it, and for now we're just going to leave it at that. As the name would suggest, Naval Strike is all about naval warfare, so the maps very much have a naval theme and lots of water sort of area that you can work on. And to be honest, they all kind of have a similar design. Many islands surrounded by water, similar in sense to Paracel Storm. Overall though, the map design is really good. In this video you'll see bits from different maps, and I have to say they all look awesome. There is a ton of new assets used in the maps, and it really does show. You know, underground submarine bases, down planes. It all looks really good, and visually, it's one of my most favourite DLCs so far. Now, as you probably know, I'm not a massive vehicle person, so playing on large conquest maps isn't really my thing. So at first, Naval Strike wasn't that appealing to me, until that is, they announced Carrier Assault. Now, Carrier Assault is based on a Titan mode from Battlefield 2142, if you've ever played that game. Essentially, you start off with a conquest-style game mode. So either 5 flags Conquest Large or 3 flags Conquest Small. Both teams fight out for the flags like you normally would do, but instead of losing tickets, you lose health on your team's carrier. And each team has a carrier that is situated at your base. When the health of your ship or the enemy ship drops below 50, it then becomes boardable. And then it starts off like a rush game mode. So you start arming an MCOM on the deck, and then if that one explodes and you manage to get it, it opens up a new area of the ship in the engine room, and you then have to arm a second MCOM to win. Alternatively, if maybe it's a bit of a stalemate and you can't arm the MCOMs, you can still win by owning the flags and dropping the enemy's carrier health down to 0. So there is 2 ways technically to win. Overall, I had a ton of fun playing this game mode. It brought back some memories, even if it is substantially different than it was back then. I don't, for instance, like the MCOM feature. Personally, I would like it better if maybe you had an MCOM and then you had to fight out for the engine room. So there was no MCOM in the engine room, but instead you had to shoot at an engine core that took damage, like you did in 2142. In 2142 you had to get to the ship's core, and then you had to shoot at it, RPG it, and it took damage, and that's what blew up the ship. I think that would have been far cooler. Not only that, but in the old version in 2142, when your ship, or carrier it is now, was destroyed, there was a chance for you to escape alive and get off the ship. It didn't really mean that much, but it was a cool feature of being able to escape the ship before it blew up, and then you could watch it blow as you're sort of parachuting to the ground. I really think the game misses that feature. Apparently, from seeing tweets from the devs, this is more of a technical issue rather than a design choice. I'm not sure exactly what the technical issue is that prevents them from doing it, but that is the reason. Lastly, it can be a real clusterfuck as well, especially when you get to the engine room. 32 players or even 64 all in a tight area. Of course, not all players are going to be on either carrier at the same time. There is going to be 2 carriers spreading the people out, and there's going to be players capping flags as well. Either way though, there is just so many players in a tight space. I only played it with 32 players, so I can only imagine how manic it is with 64. Having said that, it would be unfair not to point out that that was exactly the same in 2142. It was a tiny ship with a lot of people, and that was still fun. But the game mechanics were somewhat different back then. With all that in mind, Carrier Assault was a lot of fun. I'll happily play a lot more of it, and it's one of the DLCs that I have enjoyed the most so far, without a doubt. I know a lot of people feel the same, and with a bit of luck, DICE will solve the rubber banding issue, and more people can enjoy what the DLC has to offer. Oh, and did I mention, there's hovercrafts. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.